But see, the thing about it is,
You know what?
people call you out in the open and in the public and will put all your business out in the street. But when something going on with them, they're not gonna come on the same public platform that they tear you down on. They're not gonna come on that same platform and say,
I'm
a
drunk.
drug addict. I'm an alcoholic. I'm obese. I'm overweight. I suffer from depression. I receive psychiatric help. They're not going to come on here and say those things about themselves. When something happened to them, when God do punish them for what they're doing to you and others, when something happened tragic in their life, when they fall down and break their ankle, or when they get in a car wreck or whatever, they're not going to come on here because they know they done so much dirt. They're not going to come on here and say, girl, my house just caught fire. They're not going to come on here and say, my car is totaled. They're not going to come on here and say, I had a heart attack. They're not going to come on here and say none of that stuff. They will put all your business out there, but they're going to disappear. Like, when something happens to them, they're going to disappear from their channel. They're going to just say, oh, girl, I got so much going on in my life, you can't even imagine. I can imagine exactly what you got going on in your life. When you evil, when you doing the work of Satan, I can imagine that you got a lot going on.
Okay. This is the shit that pisses me off. Y'all gonna get enough. I'm telling you, listening to this drunk prophet, this drunk pastor, this drunk evangelist, or whatever the hell she called herself. That is not how God operates. Because if that's the case, she shouldn't have a trailer. The van should be towed down and broke down. She should be sitting on the side of the street somewhere. That's not how God operates. And it makes me so angry that people like her and others try to put fear in people about God. You're supposed to have a reverential fear of the Lord, but you're not supposed to think that everything that happens to you, God is punishing you. That's that old time, broke down, beating the people over the head religion. That's not God. God created us because he wanted to have a relationship with us. Are there things built in? When you're born into sin. So sin does create things. But it's not like God sitting up there on the throne saying, oops, well, they lied today, so let me go ahead and set their house on fire. Oh, well, they was real nasty to the lady at the grocery store. Let me let their car break down. That's not of God. The same as you can go pay $1,000 in the $1,000 line, and you go home and you got $1 million in a suitcase at your house. God is not some Vegas type deal where you toss the coin. If you put enough money in, you win a whole lot back. And if you don't, you lose and you're punished. That's not how he works. You have to read your word to know how he operates. And it's people like her that sits here, and then you wait till your ass is drunk or high or whatever you is to try to get out here and tell people. And it's the same crap every day. Just the other day, you sat in the back of the van, and these are not motivational messages to anybody but herself, because she's always talking about herself. You best and believe she couldn't care less about the subscribers that watch her videos or put stuff in the chat. All she wants from you is money and gifts. And this whole nomad thing, the only reason why she back in the van because she needed more money and more gifts. And if you're a nomad, you go from place to place. She don't go no place but from state park to state park to state park. And this whole thing about I don't have to worry about anybody but myself, that ain't even how we was created. Because if that's the case, God could have just created Adam and never created any other human being. But he created us because it made us social beings for us to be able to need each other and depend on each other. No man is an island by himself, whether they think they are or not. So this whole pretense of her, I had to do this, I had to do that. Girl, shut up. A lot of us who came from families where there was more than one child, you assisted with your siblings. I cooked, I cleaned, I dressed, I combed hair. I did a lot of things for my siblings when I was growing up. That's just the way it was. So for me to sit here now and say, oh, I don't want to help nobody else. I don't want to deal with my son and my grandkids. I don't want to have a significant other in my life, all simply because I had to help out with my siblings when I was younger. That's crazy. That is crazy. That is just the way it was. That's how they did stuff. And it's a done deal. That season is over. You're a grown-ass person. And to sit in the back of a van by yourself acting crazy the most of the time when you're by yourself, the times that we see you act the healthiest is when you're interacting with other people. All the months you spent at Charlene's house, that's the healthiest I've seen you act since I've been watching your channel. And that's because you were around other people. When you get by yourself with your own devices, you're not a healthy person. You get in the back of your van and make all these, oh my gosh, I don't know, it's like she back there with a witch's hat on, brewing up some curses. Let me curse these people because she says she's changed. Well, if you have really changed, child, let me put my, I forgot I need to put the charger, my phone on the charger. But if you have really changed, then you wouldn't have to be sitting there talking about it at all. You wouldn't have to talk about it at all, ma'am. You would trust, because that's what you say. You say you trust the Lord, so you would just trust. I'm sorry, y'all know I'm making y'all dizzy. You would trust that God is going to take care of it, and you don't have to. So the only difference now is that you're not cussing people out, but you're still in your own way trying to get your own word in. So that's not letting God take care of it. Letting God take care of it is that you don't have to mention it at all because you trust that he's going to do it. But you still got your hand in it. So quit lying. And just quit getting in the back of your van trying to prophesy and curse and preach about yourself. About yourself. I'm telling you, y'all keep following this up if you want to. Keep following up if you want to. Don't read your word. Don't know what the Bible says. Don't know what God wants from you. And listen to people like this. You know, you don't get to blame other people just like her. As much as she likes to blame the rest of the world for her own devices and what she's done, she makes choices, she makes decisions, and she got consequences for them. That's life. There are things that are just built into life. You don't do maintenance on your car, it may break down. You got a bad lemon or there's a defect in the car when they made it at the factory, it could catch on fire. Something was left on in your house, or a space heater, or a stove, or something electrical in your home, it could catch on fire. It's all man-made. There's always a possibility that something can go wrong because we made it. We're not perfect, and you got people who ain't always doing their job right. And there's wear and tear. That's just life. I'm telling you, you better quit letting these naysayers try to scare you into having a relationship with God. You should have one with him because you want to, because that's what he wants. Don't nobody force you to have no relationship with a man or a woman. Then nobody should have to force you to have a relationship with God. This woman just gets on my nerves with this.